Welcome to NFL Season Recaps, where we dive deep into the most fascinating chapters of professional football history. If you enjoy falling asleep to the gentle rhythm of football history, consider subscribing to NFL Season Recaps and hitting that notification bell. We upload new sleep-friendly football stories every week, designed specifically to help you drift off while learning about the game's most incredible moments and legendary performances. Tonight, we're going back to 2014, a year that would end with one of the most thrilling Super Bowls in history and begin a controversy that would haunt the game for years to come. This is the tale of championship dreams, devastating injuries, and a finish for the ages that no one saw coming. The 2014 season was the 95th in NFL history and the 49th of the Super Bowl era. From September 4th through February 1st, 32 teams would chase the ultimate prize, but only 2 would reach the summit. What unfolded was a season where every single team lost at least 4 games, where a team with a losing record reached the playoffs, and where the final play of the Super Bowl would be debated for decades. Chapter 1: The Free Agency Frenzy. A record 471 players became eligible for free agency, creating unprecedented movement and opportunity for franchises to reshape their rosters through strategic acquisitions. The massive free agency pool reflected the league's continued growth and the expiration of numerous contracts from the previous collective bargaining agreement. Teams had prepared for months to identify their targets and create salary cap space for the signings that would define their championship aspirations for the upcoming season. The quarterback carousel spun wildly as veteran signal callers found new homes. Josh McCown left Chicago for Tampa Bay, while Mark Sanchez departed the New York Jets for Philadelphia, creating a quarterback swap, as Michael Vick went the opposite direction from Philadelphia to New York. The moves signaled organizational changes and fresh starts for franchises looking to find their missing piece. The running back market exploded with movement as teams sought to bolster their ground games. LeGarrette Blount left New England for Pittsburgh, while Donald Brown departed Indianapolis for San Diego. Chris Johnson, the former Tennessee Titans star, landed with the New York Jets, bringing his explosive speed to the AFC East. Maurice Jones. Drew ended his Jacksonville career by signing with Oakland, while Ben Tate left Houston for Cleveland, hoping to finally become a featured back. Wide receivers dominated headlines as star players changed uniforms across the league. The biggest shock came when Philadelphia released Deshaun Jackson, who quickly signed with division rival Washington, creating instant intrigue for twice-yearly matchups. Eric Decker left Denver's high-powered offense for the New York Jets, while Emmanuel Sanders went the opposite direction from Pittsburgh to Denver. Golden Tate departed Seattle for Detroit, and Steve Smith ended his Carolina Panthers career by joining Baltimore. The defensive side of the ball saw equally dramatic movement. DeMarcus Ware, the Cowboys' legendary pass rusher, signed with Denver, instantly upgrading their defense. Julius Peppers shocked the football world by leaving Chicago for Green Bay, joining the hated rival Packers. Jared Allen left Minnesota for Chicago, creating a pass rush carousel in the NFC North. Perhaps the most significant defensive move involved Darrelle Revis, the shutdown cornerback who left Tampa Bay for New England. The Patriots' acquisition of Revis signaled their intention to make another championship run, pairing elite coverage with their offensive firepower. Meanwhile, Aqib Talib went from New England to Denver, continuing the defensive back shuffle between contenders. Chapter 2: The Draft and New Faces. The 2014 NFL Draft took place from May 8th through 10th in New York City, featuring a record 98 underclassmen who declared early for the draft. The abundance of early entries reflected both the financial incentives of professional football and the increasing sophistication of college programs that prepared players for the next level. The Houston Texans, coming off a disastrous 2-14 season, held the first overall selection and faced a crucial decision that would define their franchise's direction. After extensive evaluation, they chose Jadeveon Clowney, the South Carolina defensive end whose combination of size, speed, and athleticism promised to terrorize quarterbacks for years to come. Clowney's college tape showed dominance rarely seen at any level, including a legendary hit against Michigan that sent a running back's helmet flying and became an instant viral sensation. The draft represented the end of an era as Radio City Music Hall hosted its final draft after 9 years of hosting duties. The venue had become synonymous with draft day drama and life-changing moments for young athletes. But the event had outgrown the space as television coverage expanded and fan interest increased dramatically. Chicago's Auditorium Theater was announced as the next venue, marking a shift to a larger, more modern facility. The St. Louis Rams, picking second overall, selected Auburn offensive tackle Greg Robinson, hoping to protect their franchise quarterback and establish dominance in the trenches. Robinson's athleticism and college success against elite competition made him an attractive choice for a team desperate to improve their offensive line protection. Jacksonville's selection of Blake Bortles third overall represented their commitment to finding a franchise quarterback after years of instability at the position. Bortles' size, arm strength, and leadership qualities impressed scouts, though questions remained about his accuracy and decision-making against elite competition. The Jaguars were betting their future on his ability to develop into a championship-caliber quarterback. Buffalo's selection of Sammy Watkins fourth overall came after a dramatic trade with Cleveland that saw the Bills move up to secure the Clemson wide receiver. Watkins' speed, route-running ability, and hands made him the draft's premier receiving threat, and Buffalo hoped he could provide the explosive playmaking ability their offense desperately needed. The Oakland Raiders continued their defensive rebuild by selecting linebacker Khalil Mack fifth overall. Mack's college dominance at Buffalo, combined with his impressive workout numbers, convinced Oakland that he could anchor their defense for years to come. His versatility to rush the passer and cover in space made him attractive to defensive coordinators seeking multiple position players. Atlanta surprised many observers by selecting tight end Jake Matthews sixth overall, addressing their need for protection and receiving threats from the tight end position. Matthews' college pedigree and athletic ability made him an intriguing prospect, though some questioned whether the position warranted such a high selection. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected wide receiver Mike Evans seventh overall, pairing him with Vincent Jackson to create one of the league's most imposing receiving corps. Evans' size, leaping ability, and red zone presence gave Tampa Bay a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses, particularly in goal line situations. Minnesota's selection of quarterback Teddy Bridgewater in the first round represented their long-term planning at the position. Bridgewater's accuracy, intelligence, and leadership qualities impressed evaluators, though concerns about his arm strength in cold weather conditions created debate about his ceiling in Minnesota's climate. The draft's middle rounds provided depth and future stars, as teams searched for players who could contribute immediately or develop into cornerstone pieces. Running backs, defensive backs, and offensive linemen filled crucial depth roles while competing for starting positions on their new teams. Notable second-round selections included Aaron Donald to St. Sign, Louis, a defensive tackle whose quickness and pass-rushing ability would revolutionize interior line play. Derek Carr went to Oakland in the second round, providing them with a potential franchise quarterback to pair with their improving defense. Devontae Adams joined Green Bay, adding another weapon to Aaron Rodgers' receiving corps. The third round featured players who would become immediate contributors and eventual stars. Odell Beckham Jr. went to the New York Giants, bringing elite athleticism and route-running ability to their receiving corps. Kelvin Benjamin joined Carolina, providing Cam Newton with a tall, physical target in the red zone. Late-round selections often provided the best value, as teams discovered hidden gems who outperformed their draft position. These players, motivated by being overlooked and hungry to prove their worth, frequently became crucial contributors and fan favorites through their determination and work ethic. The draft represented hope and renewal for struggling franchises, as they added young talent and fresh energy to their organizations. Veteran players watched nervously as rookies threatened their roster spots, creating competition that would ultimately improve team performance throughout the season. The coaching landscape also experienced significant changes as teams made moves to upgrade their leadership and install new systems. Rex Ryan left the New York Jets for Buffalo, bringing his defensive expertise and colorful personality to a franchise desperate for playoff success. His aggressive defensive schemes and media savvy created instant excitement among Bills fans who had endured years of mediocrity. Doug Marrone took over in Buffalo, implementing a physical, ground-based offensive system designed to complement their improved defense. His college success and attention to detail convinced ownership that he could develop their young talent and create a winning culture. Mike Zimmer finally received his opportunity as a head coach when Minnesota hired him after years of successful defensive coordination. His reputation for developing players and creating innovative schemes gave Vikings fans hope that their defense could return to championship-level performance. Ken Whisenhunt returned to Tennessee as head coach, bringing his offensive expertise and Super Bowl experience to a franchise searching for stability and direction. His previous success developing quarterbacks made him attractive to a team hoping to find their signal caller of the future. These new coaches faced the challenge of implementing their systems while developing rookie talent and maximizing veteran contributions. The integration of new players and coaches would determine which teams exceeded expectations and which fell short of their preseason optimism. The league also implemented several significant rule changes that would influence strategy and gameplay throughout the season. Goalposts were raised from 30 feet to 35 feet in height, creating additional challenges for kickers and potentially influencing game outcomes in crucial situations. The change was implemented to reduce the number of balls that hit the crossbar and create more definitive results on field goal attempts. New celebration penalties were instituted that specifically targeted dunking the football over the goalpost crossbar, reflecting concerns about player safety and equipment damage. Players could still celebrate touchdowns, but excessive demonstrations that involved using the goalpost as a prop were now subject to 15-yard penalties that could affect subsequent extra point attempts. Replay review was expanded to include loose ball recoveries in certain situations, giving officials additional tools to ensure correct calls in crucial moments. The expansion reflected advances in camera technology and the league's commitment to getting important calls correct, despite the additional time required for reviews and potential game flow disruption. The season was also marked by significant tragedy within the football community, as several legendary figures passed away. Chuck Noll, the Hall of Fame coach who led the Pittsburgh Steelers to 4 Super Bowl championships in the 1970s, died at age 82. His innovative defensive schemes and leadership had established Pittsburgh as one of the league's premier franchises, while influencing coaching philosophy throughout professional football. 3 prominent NFL owners also died during the year, creating ownership transitions that would influence their franchises for years to come. William Clay Ford Sr., owner of the Detroit Lions for more than 50 years, passed away at age 88 after presiding over one of the longest ownership tenures in professional sports history. His family's continued ownership would maintain stability while seeking to end the franchise's championship drought. Ralph Wilson, the founder and longtime owner of the Buffalo Bills, died at age 95 after serving as one of the AFL's founding fathers and a driving force behind professional football's expansion and growth. His death created uncertainty about the Bills' future location, though the franchise would ultimately remain in Buffalo under new ownership. Malcolm Glazer, the controversial owner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who had also purchased Manchester United, passed away at age 85. His aggressive business approach and willingness to invest in player talent had helped the Buccaneers win their first Super Bowl championship, while establishing him as one of the league's most influential owners. Chapter 3. Season Opener and Early Surprises. The season began on Thursday, September 4th, with the defending Super Bowl champions Seattle Seahawks hosting the Green Bay Packers in the traditional kickoff game. This marked the start of a historic season where every single team would lose at least 4 games, demonstrating unprecedented competitive parity that had never been achieved in NFL history. The remarkable parity statistic would not become apparent until later in the season, but it reflected the effectiveness of salary cap management and revenue sharing in creating competitive balance throughout the league. No team could dominate through sheer financial resources, forcing organizations to excel in talent evaluation, coaching, and player development. Seattle's 36-16 victory served emphatic notice that the defending champions weren't ready to relinquish their crown. Russell Wilson threw for 291 yards and 2 touchdowns with surgical precision, dissecting Green Bay's defense with improved accuracy and decision-making. Marshawn Lynch added 110 rushing yards with his patented physical running style, bulldozing through tackles and imposing his will on the Packers' front 7. The Seahawks' defense, dubbed the Legion of Boom, picked up where they left off in their Super Bowl victory over Denver. Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, and Cam Chancellor created turnovers and short fields for their offense, while Michael Bennett and Cliff Averill pressured Aaron Rodgers throughout the evening. The dominant performance suggested that Seattle had not suffered any championship hangover and remained the NFC's team to beat. Aaron Rodgers struggled against Seattle's physical secondary, throwing for just 189 yards and 1 touchdown while facing constant pressure from the Seahawks' pass rush. The difference in physicality and execution between the teams was obvious, as Seattle's championship experience showed in crucial moments throughout the game. The opening weekend continued with surprising results across the league, as several preseason favorites stumbled while unexpected teams announced their arrival as legitimate contenders. The competitive balance and parity that defined the modern NFL was immediately apparent, as coaching, preparation, and execution mattered more than talent on paper. The first month of the season revealed early contenders and pretenders. The many initial impressions would prove incorrect as teams developed chemistry and adjusted to new systems. The New England Patriots started slowly at 2-2, including a devastating 41-14 loss to Kansas City that had critics questioning Tom Brady's decline and the team's championship aspirations. The loss to Kansas City was particularly concerning because of its comprehensive nature. The Chiefs dominated every phase of the game, rushing for 245 yards while holding New England to just 14 rushing yards. Brady looked confused and overwhelmed, throwing for only 159 yards and 1 touchdown while facing constant pressure from Kansas City's improved defense. Sports media immediately began speculating about Brady's decline, with some suggesting that age and wear had finally caught up to the 37-year-old quarterback. Critics pointed to his diminished arm strength and slower release time as evidence that his championship days were behind him. Nobody could have predicted that this early stumble would make their eventual championship run even more remarkable and provide extra motivation for their late-season surge. The Kansas City victory represented a breakthrough for a Chiefs organization that had struggled against elite teams in recent years. Their physical defense and efficient offense suggested they could compete with anyone in the AFC, while their coaching staff had clearly prepared excellent game plans that neutralized New England's strengths. The Denver Broncos, led by Peyton Manning's record-setting offense, looked unstoppable in the early weeks as they averaged over 40 points per game in their first 3 contests. Manning was on pace to shatter every passing record imaginable, completing passes with the precision and timing that had defined his legendary career. The Broncos' high-octane attack put up video game numbers week after week, featuring multiple receivers and a balanced ground game. Manning's connection with receivers, Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, and Wes Welker, created matchup nightmares for opposing defenses as their speed and route running ability gave Manning multiple options on every play. Julius Thomas emerged as one of the league's premier tight ends, using his size and athleticism to create mismatches in the red zone and intermediate passing game. The Denver offensive line, anchored by Ryan Clady and Louis Vasquez, provided Manning with excellent protection that allowed him to survey the field and find open receivers. Their commitment to pass protection and run blocking created opportunities for both the passing and rushing attacks to succeed at historically high levels. In the NFC, the Philadelphia Eagles emerged as early favorites under head coach Chip Kelly's revolutionary up-tempo system. Their fast-paced offense confused defenses and created explosive plays. As opposing players struggled to match Philadelphia's conditioning and pace, Kelly's sports science approach and nutritional programs gave his players advantages that became apparent in fourth quarters across the league. LaShawn McCoy flourished in Kelly's system, using his speed and cutting ability to exploit defensive pursuit angles and create long touchdown runs. His understanding of the zone-read concepts and patience in finding running lanes made him one of the league's most dangerous offensive weapons. Jeremy Maclin provided a reliable receiving target, while Deshaun Jackson's departure to Washington created opportunities for other receivers to emerge. Nick Foles continued his surprising success as Philadelphia's quarterback, throwing with accuracy and intelligence while managing Kelly's complex system. His ability to make quick decisions and avoid turnovers allowed the Eagles to maintain their fast pace while minimizing mistakes that could derail drives. The Eagles' defense, coordinated by Billy Davis, emphasized speed and pursuit to complement the offensive tempo. Their ability to create three-and-out possessions gave their offense more opportunities to control games and wear down opposing defenses through relentless pace and physical conditioning. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones made headlines with his aggressive pursuit of talent and willingness to take calculated risks on players with character concerns. The signing of defensive end Greg Hardy, despite his legal issues, created controversy, but also provided the Cowboys with elite pass-rushing ability when he eventually became available. The Detroit Lions entered the season with high expectations after their playoff appearance the previous year, featuring one of the league's most explosive passing attacks led by Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson. Their combination of arm strength and receiving ability created big play potential on every down, while their improved defense under Terrell Austin showed promise in early contests. The Green Bay Packers, despite their opening loss to Seattle, remained confident in their championship aspirations behind Aaron Rodgers' elite quarterback play. Their receiving core, featuring Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, and newly drafted Davante Adams, gave Rodgers multiple weapons to exploit opposing defenses. Eddie Lacy's emergence as a physical running back provided balance to an offense that had historically relied heavily on passing. Indianapolis Colts quarterback Andrew Luck entered his third season with increased expectations and responsibility for carrying his franchise to championship contention. His arm strength, intelligence, and leadership qualities had already established him as one of the league's rising stars, while the organization continued building talent around him through the draft and free agency. The Miami Dolphins hoped to build on their previous season's improvement under head coach Joe Philbin, featuring a balanced attack led by quarterback Ryan Tannehill and a defense that had shown flashes of dominance. Their ability to develop young talent and create team chemistry would determine whether they could challenge New England for division supremacy. Early season surprises included the Cincinnati Bengals' offensive explosion under offensive coordinator Hugh Jackson, as Andy Dalton threw with improved accuracy and decision-making. A.J. Green's return to health provided them with an elite receiving threat, while their defense remained one of the league's most physical and opportunistic units. The Pittsburgh Steelers struggled early as they adjusted to new personnel and dealt with injuries to key players. But their championship pedigree and veteran leadership suggested they would improve as the season progressed. Ben Roethlisberger's experience and playmaking ability gave them the foundation for a potential playoff run, if their defense could reach championship level. Chapter 4. Mid-season drama and injuries. As the season reached its midpoint, injury reports began to mount, and trades started reshaping rosters across the league. The physical nature of professional football took its inevitable toll on players, while organizations made calculated decisions about their championship windows and future asset management. The most shocking move came when the Seattle Seahawks traded Percy Harvin to the New York Jets for a conditional draft pick, ending a tumultuous relationship with one of the league's most talented but troubled wide receivers. Harvin's combination of speed, route running ability, and return skills made him a dangerous weapon. But his inability to stay healthy and reports of locker room friction made him expendable despite his obvious talent. The trade surprised many observers because Harvin had played a crucial role in Seattle's Super Bowl victory the previous season, providing explosive plays and creating mismatches that stressed opposing defenses. However, his pattern of injuries and reported conflicts with teammates and coaches convinced Seattle's management that his departure was necessary for team chemistry and long-term success. The Jets acquired Harvin, hoping his playmaking ability could jumpstart their struggling offense and provide quarterback Geno Smith with an elite weapon. However, Harvin's injury history and attitude concerns created questions about whether he could stay healthy and committed long enough to justify the acquisition cost and contract investment. The transformation was remarkable in its completeness, as both offensive and defensive units elevated their play dramatically. Tom Brady silenced critics with improved play that showcased his championship pedigree and ability to elevate his performance when his team needed it most. His completion percentage improved dramatically during the winning streak, while his touchdown-to-interception ratio demonstrated the precision and decision-making that had defined his legendary career. The offensive line, initially criticized for poor protection and run blocking, began to gel under the guidance of offensive line coach Dante Scarnecchia. Their improved communication and technique gave Brady more time to find open receivers while creating running lanes for Shane Vereen, Jonas Gray, and other backs in their rotation. Julian Edelman emerged as Brady's most reliable target, using his quickness and route running precision to find openings in opposing defenses. His chemistry with Brady, developed through countless hours of practice and film study, created a connection that proved invaluable in crucial down and distance situations throughout their winning streak. Rob Gronkowski's return to health provided the Patriots with a matchup nightmare that opposing defenses struggled to contain. His size, speed, and hands created opportunities in both the red zone and intermediate passing game, while his blocking ability added another dimension to their offensive flexibility. The defense, anchored by the acquisition of Darrelle Revis in free agency, began to gel into a championship-caliber unit that could create turnovers and stops when needed most. Revis's elite coverage ability allowed defensive coordinator Matt Patricia to be more aggressive with his schemes, creating pressure and confusion for opposing quarterbacks. The 43-17 victory over Cincinnati in Week 5 marked the beginning of their transformation from pretender to contender, as they dominated a quality opponent in all phases of the game. Brady threw for 333 yards and 4 touchdowns without an interception, while the defense held Cincinnati's offense to just 17 points on their home field. The Patriots' running game also improved dramatically during their winning streak, as they committed to establishing the ground game early and often. Jonas Gray emerged as an unexpected contributor, rushing for 201 yards and 4 touchdowns in a memorable performance against Indianapolis that announced his arrival as a legitimate threat. Injuries struck down key players across the league, altering the landscape of championship races and creating opportunities for previously unknown players to step into starring roles. The physical nature of the sport and the accumulated wear of a long season began to separate the durable from the fragile. Aaron Rodgers suffered a calf injury that limited his mobility and effectiveness for several crucial weeks, forcing the Green Bay Packers to adjust their offensive philosophy and rely more heavily on their running game and shorter passing concepts. His ability to extend plays with his legs had been crucial to their success, and the injury forced them to become more conservative in their play calling. Ben Roethlisberger dealt with various injuries throughout the season, but displayed remarkable toughness and leadership in continuing to play at a high level despite physical limitations. His ability to absorb punishment and still make accurate throws under pressure exemplified the championship mentality that separated elite quarterbacks from good ones. Star running backs across the league suffered significant injuries that opened opportunities for backup players to prove their worth. Adrian Peterson's legal troubles and subsequent suspension created a massive hole in Minnesota's offense, while other teams dealt with torn ACLs, broken bones, and other season-ending injuries to their featured backs. The wide receiver position was particularly impacted by injuries, as teams lost playmakers and were forced to rely on untested players or adjust their offensive schemes to account for reduced talent. The depth at the position across the league was tested, with some organizations thriving while others struggled to maintain offensive efficiency. Defensive players also suffered their share of significant injuries, particularly pass rushers and coverage players whose speed and athleticism made them vulnerable to sudden movements and contact. The loss of elite defensive players forced coordinators to adjust their schemes and rely more heavily on team concepts rather than individual talent. The trade deadline brought additional movement as contenders made final pushes to improve their rosters, while rebuilding teams sold assets for future considerations. The decisions made during this period often determined which teams could sustain championship runs and which fell short due to depth concerns. Logan Mankins, the longtime New England Patriots guard, was traded to Tampa Bay for a conditional draft pick in a move that surprised many observers, given his veteran leadership and consistent performance. The trade signaled New England's confidence in their younger players while providing Tampa Bay with proven offensive line help for their struggling protection schemes. Other veterans found themselves in new uniforms as teams either bought or sold assets based on their playoff chances and organizational philosophies. The deadline created drama and speculation as players waited to learn whether they would be staying with their current teams or starting over in new cities with different systems and expectations. Wide receivers, running backs, and defensive players all found themselves involved in trade discussions as teams evaluated their needs and available resources. The decisions made during this period often had ramifications that extended well beyond the current season, affecting salary cap management and roster construction for years to come. Some trades proved immediately successful, providing teams with the missing pieces they needed for playoff runs. Others failed to live up to expectations, as players struggled to adapt to new systems or were unable to stay healthy enough to contribute meaningfully to their new organizations. The mid-season period also featured several players returning from injuries that had sidelined them early in the season, creating competition for playing time and forcing coaches to make difficult decisions about their depth charts and rotation patterns. These returns often provided crucial depth for playoff runs while creating tough choices for coaching staffs. Chapter 5. The playoff picture takes shape. As November turned to December, division races intensified across both conferences, and playoff positioning became crucial for teams with championship aspirations. The late-season push separated contenders from pretenders, as organizations discovered which players could perform under pressure and which systems could withstand the scrutiny of meaningful games. The AFC featured several strong contenders, with New England, Denver, Indianapolis, and Pittsburgh emerging as the top seeds through their combination of talent, coaching, and execution in crucial moments. Each team brought unique strengths and weaknesses to their playoff preparations, creating compelling storylines for potential postseason matchups. Their 7-game winning streak had transformed them from early season disappointment to legitimate championship contender, proving their resilience and championship pedigree. Brady's performance during the winning streak included multiple games with over 300 passing yards and efficient touchdown-to-interception ratios that demonstrated his continued excellence despite critics' suggestions of decline. His connection with Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski, and Danny Amendola created multiple options and route combinations that confused opposing defenses and created explosive plays. The Patriots' running game also improved dramatically during their surge, as they discovered effective combinations of Shane Vereen, Jonas Gray, and their other backs in different situations. Their commitment to establishing the ground game early opened opportunities for play-action passes and helped control the tempo of games against quality opponents. Denver's offense remained historically potent despite occasional defensive lapses that created questions about their ability to win low-scoring playoff games. Peyton Manning's precision and intelligence continued to create opportunities for his talented receiving corps, while their offensive line provided excellent protection that allowed the complex passing concepts to develop properly. The Broncos' receiving group, featuring Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, and Wes Welker, gave Manning multiple options and created matchup problems for opposing defenses. Julius Thomas emerged as one of the league's premier tight ends, using his size and athleticism to exploit mismatches in both the intermediate passing game and red zone situations. Manning's ability to read defenses and adjust protection schemes at the line of scrimmage continued to set him apart from other quarterbacks, as he frequently identified blitzes and coverage rotations that allowed him to exploit defensive weaknesses. His pre-snap diagnosis and audible system had been refined over years of experience and gave Denver significant advantages in crucial situations. The Indianapolis Colts, led by the continued development of quarterback Andrew Luck, had exceeded expectations with their balanced approach and opportunistic defense. Luck's arm strength, mobility, and leadership had elevated the play of his teammates while creating big play opportunities that kept their offense explosive and unpredictable. The Colts' receiving corps, anchored by T.Y. Hilton and Reggie Wayne, provided Luck with reliable targets who could create separation and make contested catches in traffic. Their ability to stretch the field vertically opened opportunities for shorter routes and running plays that gave Indianapolis multiple dimensions to their offensive attack. Pittsburgh's late-season surge behind Ben Roethlisberger's spectacular play and an improving defense made them dangerous wildcard contenders who could upset higher seeds in the playoffs. Roethlisberger's experience and ability to extend plays with his mobility created opportunities for receivers to get open and made the Steelers' offense particularly dangerous in crucial situations. The Steelers' receiving group, led by Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant, provided Roethlisberger with elite speed and route running ability that could stress any defense. Le'Veon Bell's emergence as one of the league's most complete running backs gave Pittsburgh both rushing and receiving threats that created matchup problems for opposing defenses. The NFC presented an even more chaotic picture, with multiple teams harboring legitimate championship aspirations and division races that remained undecided late into the season. The competitive balance and parity made every game crucial, as small margins often determined playoff berths and home field advantage throughout the conference. Seattle remained strong despite their offensive inconsistencies, as the Legion of Boom defense continued to dominate opposing offenses and create the turnovers and short fields that made their offense more effective. Russell Wilson's mobility and decision-making had improved throughout the season, while Marshawn Lynch's physical running style provided the foundation for their ball control offense. The Seahawks' defensive line, featuring Michael Bennett and Cliff Avril, created consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks, while their secondary used their size and physicality to disrupt passing concepts. Their ability to play both man and zone coverage at elite levels made them adaptable to different opponents and situations. Green Bay's Aaron Rodgers was playing at an MVP level throughout the season, leading an offense that could score with anyone in the league while maintaining efficiency and avoiding turnovers. Their combination of quarterback excellence and weapons at skill positions made them capable of winning different types of games, from high-scoring affairs to defensive struggles. The Packers' receiving corps, featuring Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, and Davante Adams, gave Rodgers multiple options and route combinations that created problems for opposing defensive coordinators. Eddie Lacy's physical running style provided balance and helped control games when the Packers needed to manage the clock or set up play-action opportunities. Dallas surprised many observers with their balanced offensive attack led by DeMarco Murray's record-setting rushing performance and Tony Romo's efficient quarterback play. Their offensive line, anchored by Tyron Smith and Travis Frederick, provided excellent protection and run blocking that allowed both phases of their offense to succeed at high levels. The Cowboys' defense had also improved significantly under coordinator Rod Marinelli, creating more pressure and turnovers while developing young talent that gave them depth and versatility. Their ability to complement their offensive success with defensive stops made them legitimate contenders in a competitive NFC field. Detroit's explosive passing attack led by Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson gave them the firepower to compete with anyone, while their improved defense under Terrell Austin had shown the ability to create stops when needed. Their combination of big playability and defensive improvement made them dangerous opponents for any team in playoff situations. Carolina's defense had carried them to playoff contention despite significant offensive limitations. But their physical style and opportunistic play had proven capable of winning games against quality opponents. Cam Newton's development as a quarterback and Luke Kuechly's defensive leadership provided the foundation for their unexpected success. The NFC South became particularly intriguing as multiple teams with losing records remained in contention for the division title, with the Carolina Panthers eventually winning the division with a 7-9 record. This made Carolina only the second team in NFL history to reach the playoffs with a losing record, joining the 2008 Seattle Seahawks, who also won their division at 7-9. The unusual situation sparked debates about playoff format and whether division winners should automatically receive home playoff games, regardless of their records. Critics argued that wildcard teams with better records deserved higher seeding, while supporters maintained that division championships should be rewarded, regardless of overall record. Weather began to play a significant factor as northern teams prepared for potential playoff games in harsh conditions that could favor physical, ground-based offenses over finesse passing attacks. The storm created life-threatening conditions with sustained winds and whiteout visibility that made travel impossible for players, coaches, and fans. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo declared a state of emergency and banned all travel in the affected counties, while the National Weather Service issued blizzard warnings that lasted for days. The game relocation required extensive logistical coordination between the league office, both teams, and Ford Field personnel to prepare the facility on short notice. Ticket holders from the original Buffalo game were offered refunds, while Detroit area fans were given the opportunity to purchase tickets for the relocated contest at reduced prices. The storm created dangerous travel conditions and made it impossible for fans to attend the game safely, leading to the unprecedented decision to move a regular season game to a neutral site. The relocation demonstrated the league's commitment to player and fan safety while maintaining the integrity of the competitive schedule. The weather conditions in other northern cities also created advantages for teams with strong running games and defenses that could perform effectively in harsh conditions. Teams like Green Bay, Pittsburgh, and New England had experience playing in cold weather and snow that could prove valuable in playoff situations. The final weeks of the regular season featured numerous games with significant playoff implications, as teams jockeyed for position and home field advantage that could prove crucial in determining championship outcomes. Every snap mattered, as the margin between playoff berths and early vacations came down to the smallest details and individual performances. Coaches made strategic decisions about resting starters versus maintaining momentum, as teams with secured playoff positions weighed the benefits of health against the value of continuing to play at a high level. These decisions often had ramifications that extended into the postseason, as teams sometimes struggled to regain their rhythm after extended rest periods. The pressure of meaningful games revealed which players could perform under scrutiny and which teams had the mental toughness necessary for championship runs. The late-season auditions often determined playoff rotations and game plans that coaches would use in their most important contests of the year. Chapter 6. Scheduling, Innovation, and International Expansion. The 2014 season featured significant scheduling innovations that demonstrated the league's continued evolution and global expansion efforts. For the first time, CBS and Fox networks were granted cross-flex capabilities that allowed them to exchange games in certain markets to maximize viewership and competitive balance. This change gave fans access to more compelling matchups, while providing networks with greater flexibility in their programming decisions. The flexible scheduling program was expanded to begin in Week 5 rather than the previous week, 10 start, allowing the league to move more games into primetime slots based on team performance and fan interest. This change helped ensure that the most compelling storylines and competitive matchups received maximum exposure during crucial portions of the season. International expansion continued with 3 regular season games played at Wembley Stadium in London, demonstrating the league's commitment to growing its global fan base. The London games required extensive logistical planning and player adjustment to different time zones, travel schedules, and playing surfaces. Teams had to manage jet lag, practice schedules, and cultural differences while maintaining their competitive preparation and focus on crucial divisional and conference races. The season's preparation began with training camps that opened in late July, featuring a traditional structure that included the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. The Buffalo Bills and New York Giants participated in the annual exhibition that kicked off the preseason, while honoring the sport's greatest legends and celebrating football's return after the long off-season. Training camp schedules were carefully managed to balance player conditioning with injury prevention, as coaches worked to evaluate roster depth while implementing new systems and strategies. The preseason provided opportunities for rookies and veteran free agents to demonstrate their abilities, while established players worked to maintain their competitive edges. The preseason structure included 4 exhibition games for most teams, though participants in the Hall of Fame game played 5 contests to accommodate the additional exposure and revenue opportunity. These games allowed coaches to evaluate talent and make final roster decisions, while fans got their first glimpse of new players and systems. Chapter 7. Wild Card Weekend sets the stage. The playoffs began with Wild Card Weekend, featuring 6 teams hoping to begin unlikely championship runs. The Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers, Carolina Panthers, Arizona Cardinals, and Detroit Lions all advanced to the tournament, each carrying unique storylines and championship aspirations. The Ravens, led by veteran quarterback Joe Flacco, brought experience and defensive toughness to their matchup. Their physical style and championship pedigree made them dangerous despite their wild card status, as playoff football often favored teams with veteran leadership and clutch performers. Cincinnati entered the playoffs with high expectations, but a history of early exits. Andy Dalton and the Bengals' offense would need to overcome their playoff struggles to advance, while their defense looked to create turnovers and short fields for their offense. Pittsburgh's late-season surge had carried them to the playoffs behind Ben Roethlisberger's spectacular play, and a defense that was rounding into form. The Steelers' championship experience and big-game performers made them a threat to upset higher seeds. In the NFC, Carolina made the playoffs despite a 7-9 record, becoming just the second team in NFL history to reach the postseason with a losing record. Their defense kept them competitive, while their offense searched for consistency under quarterback Cam Newton. Arizona entered the playoffs as a dangerous wild-card team with a strong defense and efficient offense. Their balanced attack and coaching excellence made them capable of surprising higher-seeded opponents who might overlook their capabilities. Detroit reached the playoffs for the first time since 1999, ending one of the longest droughts in professional sports. Their explosive offense, led by Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson, gave them the firepower to compete with any team in the tournament. Chapter 8, Divisional Round, delivers drama. The divisional round provided instant classics and heartbreaking endings as 8 teams battled for conference championship berths. The weekend featured 4 games that would be remembered for their drama, individual performances, and championship implications that resonated throughout the football world. The New England Patriots hosted the Baltimore Ravens in a game that would showcase the Patriots' championship medal and establish Tom Brady's legend as one of the greatest clutch performers in playoff history. The Ravens entered Foxborough with confidence and physicality, believing their playoff experience and defensive toughness could neutralize New England's home field advantage. Baltimore struck first, and often, building early leads that seemed to put the Patriots in impossible positions. The Ravens' ground game, led by Justin Forsett and the versatile Joe Flacco, controlled the line of scrimmage while their defense created turnovers and short fields for their offense. Their physical style and championship pedigree from their Super Bowl victory 2 years earlier gave them confidence in hostile territory. New England found themselves trailing 14-0 early, then 28-14 in the third quarter, as Baltimore's balanced attack and opportunistic defense created multiple scoring opportunities. The Ravens appeared headed toward an upset victory that would end the Patriots' season, and potentially Tom Brady's championship window. Tom Brady threw for 367 yards and 3 touchdowns with surgical precision, finding Julian Edelman 14 times for 92 yards, while Rob Gronkowski contributed 8 catches for 108 yards. The Patriots' comeback included crucial fourth-down conversions and clutch defensive stops that swung momentum dramatically. Their offensive line, anchored by Dan Connolly and Sebastian Vollmer, provided Brady with time to find open receivers despite Baltimore's aggressive pass rush. The running game, led by Shane Vereen and Jonas Gray, provided just enough balance to keep the Ravens' defense honest. Brady's performance included a spectacular touchdown pass to Brandon LaFell with 5 minutes and 13 seconds remaining that gave New England their first lead of the game. The throw, delivered under pressure and with perfect timing, demonstrated Brady's ability to elevate his performance in crucial moments and find ways to win regardless of circumstances. The Ravens' final drive ended when Deron Harmon intercepted a Joe Flacco pass in the end zone, securing the victory and sending the Patriots to the AFC Championship game. The interception capped a defensive performance that had bent, but not broken when it mattered most, creating turnovers and stops that allowed their offense to complete the historic comeback. The victory marked the first time in playoff history that a team had overcome 2 14-point deficits to win, establishing New England as legitimate championship contenders and proving their ability to perform under maximum pressure. The mental toughness and execution they displayed would serve them well in subsequent playoff games against increasingly difficult opponents. The Indianapolis Colts advanced to host the Patriots in the AFC Championship game after defeating the Cincinnati Bengals 26-10 in a workmanlike victory. Andrew Luck threw for 265 yards and 1 touchdown while avoiding turnovers, managing the game efficiently while his defense created short fields and favorable field position. The Colts' victory represented the continued growth of their young core under head coach Chuck Pagano and demonstrated their ability to win playoff games in different ways. Their defense, led by linebacker Gerald Freeman and safety Mike Adams, created 3 turnovers and held Cincinnati's offense to just 10 points on their home field. Luck's young Colts had shown tremendous growth throughout the season, developing chemistry and confidence that translated into clutch performances when their season was on the line. However, they would face their toughest test against the battle-tested Patriots, who had just proven their championship medal against an equally physical Ravens team. In the AFC West, the Denver Broncos continued their high-scoring ways with a convincing 24-17 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Peyton Manning threw for 222 yards and 2 touchdowns while avoiding costly turnovers, managing the game with the precision and intelligence that had defined his legendary career. The Broncos' balanced attack featured contributions from multiple receivers and a ground game that controlled the clock in crucial situations. Their defense, coordinated by Jack Del Rio, created enough stops to complement their offensive efficiency and advance to the conference championship game with momentum and confidence. Manning's offense remained virtually unstoppable when healthy and in rhythm, as they advanced to face the Patriots in what promised to be an epic conference championship matchup between 2 future Hall of Fame quarterbacks. The contrast in styles and philosophies between the teams created compelling storylines for one of the most anticipated games of the season. The NFC provided equally compelling storylines as Seattle, Green Bay, Dallas, and Carolina battled for conference supremacy. Each team brought unique strengths and weaknesses to their matchups, setting up what promised to be an exciting race to the Super Bowl and potential classic conference championship games. The Seattle Seahawks dominated the Carolina Panthers 31-17 in a victory that showcased their championship experience and defensive dominance. Russell Wilson threw for 268 yards and 3 touchdowns, while Marshawn Lynch added 111 rushing yards, providing the offensive balance that made their defense even more effective. Seattle's defense, known as the Legion of Boom, continued to dominate opposing offenses while creating turnovers and scoring opportunities for their offense. Cam Chancellor's 90-yard interception return for a touchdown epitomized their ability to create explosive plays and demoralize opposing offenses with their physical play and opportunistic coverage. The defending champions looked determined to repeat as Super Bowl champions, displaying the confidence and execution that had carried them through their championship run the previous season. Their combination of defensive dominance and efficient offense made them dangerous opponents for anyone brave enough to challenge their crown. Green Bay's Aaron Rodgers was playing at an MVP level, leading an offense that could score with anyone in the league as they prepared for their divisional round matchup. Their combination of quarterback excellence and weapons and skill positions made them capable of winning shootouts or grinding out victories, depending on game circumstances and opponent strengths. The Packers' receiving core, featuring Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, and Devonta Adams, gave Rodgers multiple options and route combinations that created matchup problems for opposing defenses. Eddie Lacy's physical running style provided balance and ball control opportunities that complemented their explosive passing attack. Dallas Cowboys surprised many observers with their balanced offensive attack and improved defensive play throughout the regular season. DeMarco Murray's record-setting rushing performance, combined with Tony Romo's efficient quarterback play and Dez Bryant's explosive receiving ability, created one of the league's most dangerous offensive attacks. The Cowboys' offensive line, anchored by Tyron Smith and Travis Frederick, provided excellent protection and run blocking that allowed both their passing and rushing attacks to succeed at high levels. Their commitment to establishing the running game early created opportunities for play-action passes and kept opposing defenses honest throughout games. Carolina's defense had carried them to an unexpected playoff berth despite significant defensive limitations. But they would need to create turnovers and short fields to compete with more talented opponents in the postseason. Their physical style and opportunistic play had served them well during the regular season. But playoff football required even higher levels of execution and performance. Chapter 9: Conference Championships and Super Bowl Berths. The comprehensive dominance displayed in every phase of the game demonstrated the championship-level execution that would carry them through the Super Bowl. Tom Brady threw for 226 yards and 3 touchdowns with surgical precision, completing passes with timing and accuracy that overwhelmed Indianapolis's defense. His performance included perfect throws in tight windows while managing the game efficiently and avoiding the turnovers that could have given the Colts hope for a comeback. LeGarrette Blount rushed for 148 yards and 3 scores in a dominant ground game display that controlled the line of scrimmage and established New England's physical superiority. His powerful running style and ability to break tackles created long gains and demoralized Indianapolis's defense while controlling the clock and field position. The Patriots' offensive line provided excellent protection for Brady while opening running lanes that allowed their ground game to control the contest. Their communication and technique had improved dramatically throughout the season, reaching championship level at the perfect time while neutralizing Indianapolis's pass rush and run defense. New England's defense created multiple turnovers and short fields, while limiting Andrew Luck to just 12 of 23 completions for 126 yards. Their coverage and pressure forced the young quarterback into difficult decisions while preventing the explosive plays that had defined the Colts' offense throughout the season. The victory wasn't without controversy, as reports emerged after the game that 11 of 12 footballs used by the Patriots during the first half were underinflated below NFL standards. This discovery would lead to the Deflategate investigation that would overshadow much of the Patriots' championship run and create a controversy that lasted for years, while raising questions about competitive integrity and rule compliance. The allegations suggested systematic rule-breaking that could have provided advantages in ball handling and grip during cold weather conditions. The investigation would eventually result in significant punishments, including draft pick losses, fines, and Tom Brady's 4-game suspension, though the Patriots maintained their innocence throughout the process. The controversy also highlighted the intense scrutiny that accompanied championship success, as every aspect of the Patriots' preparation and execution became subject to investigation and analysis. The allegations created divisions among fans and media while influencing discussions about the legitimacy of their championship run. The lopsided nature of the victory raised questions about competitive balance and whether the Colts were truly ready for championship-level competition against elite opponents. The Patriots' dominance in every phase of the game suggested they had reached another level as the postseason progressed, while exposing significant talent and experience gaps between the teams. Indianapolis's struggles included poor execution on both sides of the ball, as they failed to create pressure on Brady while allowing New England's offense to control the game from the opening drive. Their inability to match the Patriots' intensity and physical play demonstrated the difference between playoff contenders and championship-caliber teams. The contest showcased the mental toughness and execution required for championship success, while creating one of the greatest comeback victories in playoff history. Their execution in crucial situations and ability to create turnovers had put them in position to complete their championship run. Green Bay's defense created multiple Seattle turnovers, including 4 Russell Wilson interceptions that created short fields and scoring opportunities for their offense. Their coverage and pressure had disrupted Seattle's timing while forcing the young quarterback into poor decisions and difficult throws throughout most of the contest. Aaron Rodgers threw for 321 yards and 1 touchdown while managing the game efficiently and avoiding costly mistakes that could have given Seattle momentum. His leadership and poise under pressure had guided Green Bay through difficult stretches while maintaining their offensive rhythm and execution. The Seahawks' refusal to surrender despite overwhelming odds demonstrated the championship heart that had carried them to their previous Super Bowl victory. Russell Wilson, who had struggled with interceptions throughout most of the game, found his rhythm in the crucial final minutes and threw 2 touchdown passes that saved Seattle's season and shocked the football world. His ability to perform under maximum pressure while overcoming his earlier mistakes proved his championship mettle and leadership ability. The comeback began with Wilson's 1-yard touchdown run with 4 minutes and 38 seconds remaining, capping a drive that featured crucial completions and his scrambling ability to extend plays and find open receivers. The score cut Green Bay's lead to 19-14 and gave Seattle hope that they could complete an improbable rally. Seattle's defense forced a crucial 3-and-out that gave their offense another opportunity, while their special teams recovered an onside kick that provided the short field necessary for the game-tying score. The execution of the onside kick and subsequent touchdown demonstrated the preparation and composure that separated championship teams from also-rans. Wilson's 24-yard touchdown run, with 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining, tied the game at 19 and capped one of the most remarkable rallies in championship game history. His ability to escape pressure and find the end zone while his team's season hung in the balance exemplified the clutch performance that defined elite quarterbacks. The game extended to overtime after Green Bay's field goal attempt with 2 minutes remaining, setting up sudden death that would determine which team advanced to face New England in the Super Bowl. Both teams had opportunities to win in regulation, but crucial mistakes and exceptional defensive plays forced the extra period that would create additional drama. Seattle won the overtime coin toss and took possession, immediately putting pressure on Green Bay's defense to create a stop or face elimination. Wilson's spectacular 35-yard touchdown pass to Jermaine Kearse on the first possession of overtime completed the remarkable comeback and sent the Seahawks to their second consecutive Super Bowl appearance. Kearse's touchdown catch required exceptional concentration and hands as he made the reception in traffic while maintaining his balance and finding the end zone. The completion capped a comeback that would be remembered as one of the greatest in playoff history, while demonstrating Seattle's championship resilience and execution under pressure. The comeback victory showcased Seattle's championship heart and mental toughness, as they refused to surrender even when facing almost certain defeat and overwhelming statistical improbability. Their ability to perform under extreme pressure made them dangerous opponents for any team, including the Patriots in the upcoming Super Bowl. Green Bay's collapse from a seemingly insurmountable lead created questions about their ability to close out games and manage pressure situations against elite opponents. Their failure to maintain their advantage despite multiple opportunities would haunt the organization and influence future strategic decisions in crucial games. The dramatic conclusion to both conference championship games set up a Super Bowl matchup between two teams with championship experience and the ability to perform under maximum pressure. Both New England and Seattle had proven their resilience and execution in crucial moments while overcoming significant obstacles to reach the championship game. Chapter 10, Super Bowl Matchup and Buildup. Super Bowl 49 would feature the New England Patriots against the Seattle Seahawks at University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The matchup presented compelling storylines on both sides, from the Patriots' quest to end their 10-year championship drought to Seattle's attempt to become the first repeat champion since New England in 2004 and 2005. The Deflategate controversy dominated headlines in the 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, as investigators examined the Patriots' footballs and questioned coaches and players about their knowledge of any wrongdoing. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick both denied any knowledge of intentional deflation, but the story overshadowed much of the normal Super Bowl preparation and coverage. Seattle entered the game as slight favorites, with many experts believing their dominant defense would prove too much for New England's offense. The Legion of Boom had terrorized opposing quarterbacks throughout the season, while their championship experience gave them confidence in the biggest game of the year. The Patriots countered with their own championship pedigree and veteran leadership, as Tom Brady and Bill Belichick prepared for their 6th Super Bowl together. Their experience in big games and ability to make crucial adjustments gave them advantages that couldn't be measured in statistics or betting lines. Both teams featured elite defenses and efficient offenses, setting up what promised to be a low-scoring, tactical battle between two well-coached teams. The contrasting styles and personalities of the organizations added intrigue to an already compelling championship matchup. Chapter 11. Super Bowl. Sunday Drama. Super Bowl 49 delivered instant classic status with a back-and-forth battle that wasn't decided until the final play of the game. The Patriots and Seahawks traded blows throughout 4 quarters, with momentum swinging dramatically and neither team able to establish complete control. The first quarter ended scoreless as both defenses dominated, with turnovers and 3 and outs preventing either offense from finding rhythm. Seattle's Jeremy Lane intercepted Tom Brady early in the game, but suffered a broken wrist and torn ACL on the return, foreshadowing a game where key injuries would impact both teams. The second quarter exploded with offensive fireworks as both teams found their rhythm. Tom Brady connected with Brandon LaFell for an 11-yard touchdown to give New England a 7-0 lead. But Seattle answered immediately with a Marshawn Lynch 3-yard touchdown run to tie the game at 7. The final 2 minutes of the first half provided incredible drama as both teams scored touchdowns in the final 31 seconds. The halftime show featured Katy Perry with special guests Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott, providing entertainment that would become one of the most watched halftime performances in Super Bowl history. The spectacular production included Perry riding a mechanical lion and flying around the stadium on a shooting star platform. Chapter 12. Second half intensity. The third quarter belonged to Seattle as their defense began to assert itself and create the turnovers that had defined their championship run. The Legion of Boom's physical style and opportunistic coverage created short fields and scoring opportunities that allowed their offense to build what appeared to be a commanding lead. The interception set up a Stephen Hauschka field goal that gave Seattle a 17-14 lead and momentum heading into the crucial fourth quarter. Wilson's connection with Doug Baldwin for a 3-yard touchdown pass extended Seattle's advantage to 24-14 and put the Patriots in a desperate position with time running short. Baldwin's precise route running and sure hands in traffic demonstrated the chemistry that had developed between Seattle's quarterback and receiving corps throughout their championship run. The 10-point deficit represented the largest fourth-quarter comeback in Super Bowl history. If New England could complete it, a daunting task against a defense that had proven nearly impenetrable in crucial situations. Many observers believed Seattle's defense would close out the game, especially with the Legion of Boom playing at their peak level and creating pressure on Brady throughout the contest. Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, and Cam Chancellor had dominated opposing receivers throughout the season, using their size, speed, and physicality to disrupt timing and create turnovers. Their ability to communicate and adjust to opposing offensive concepts made them particularly dangerous in crucial situations when quarterbacks were forced to take risks. The Seattle pass rush, led by Michael Bennett and Cliff Averill, had pressured Brady consistently throughout the first 3 quarters, forcing quick decisions and disrupting the timing of New England's passing attack. Their ability to generate pressure without blitzing allowed the secondary to maintain tight coverage while still creating opportunities for sacks and hurried throws. But the Patriots showed their championship mettle in the fourth quarter, mounting a furious comeback that would define their legacy and establish Tom Brady as one of the greatest clutch performers in sports history. The mental toughness and execution they displayed under maximum pressure demonstrated why they had reached 6 Super Bowls during the Brady-Belichick era. Brady's performance in the fourth quarter included some of the most clutch throws of his legendary career, as he found receivers in tight windows while facing constant pressure from Seattle's aggressive defense. His ability to remain calm and focused while his team's championship hopes hung in the balance exemplified the leadership that separated elite quarterbacks from good ones. The first touchdown drive of the fourth quarter began with Brady completing a crucial third down pass to Julian Edelman, who had been playing despite suffering an apparent concussion earlier in the game. Edelman's toughness and determination to continue playing through obvious physical impairment demonstrated the warrior mentality that championship teams required. Brady connected with Danny Amendola for a 4-yard touchdown to cut the deficit to 24-21 with 12 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, breathing life back into New England's championship hopes. Amendola's reliable hands and precise route running had made him a trusted target throughout the season, and his touchdown catch came at the perfect time. The drive included 2 spectacular 21-yard completions from Brady to Julian Edelman, both delivered under pressure and with defenders draped all over the receiver. Despite Edelman suffering an apparent concussion from a helmet-to-helmet hit by Cam Chancellor, he continued to make spectacular catches that kept drives alive and gave his team hope. The completion on 3rd and 14 represented one of the most crucial throws in Super Bowl history, as Brady delivered a perfect strike while facing immediate pressure and with his team's season hanging in the balance. Edelman's ability to hold on to the pass despite taking a devastating hit from Chancellor demonstrated the physical and mental toughness that separated championship players from others. The Patriots' offensive line, which had struggled early in the game against Seattle's pass rush, began to provide better protection as the game progressed, and Brady found his rhythm. Their ability to adjust their blocking schemes and communication helped neutralize some of the Seahawks' pass rushing advantages and gave Brady time to find open receivers. With just over 2 minutes remaining, Brady found Edelman again for a 3-yard touchdown pass that gave New England a 28-24 lead and sent the Patriots fans into delirium. The touchdown pass was delivered with precision and perfect timing, as Brady threaded the ball between multiple defenders to find his reliable target in the end zone. The touchdown capped a remarkable comeback performance that showcased Brady's ability to elevate his play when his team needed it most. His leadership and clutch gene had carried the Patriots through numerous playoff runs. But this fourth quarter performance ranked among the greatest in championship game history. The scoring drive demonstrated New England's offensive balance and depth, as multiple receivers contributed crucial catches while the running game provided just enough balance to keep Seattle's defense honest. Their ability to execute under maximum pressure while facing one of the greatest defenses in NFL history proved their championship worthiness. The Patriots' comeback put them in position to claim their 4th Super Bowl championship. But Seattle still had time and talent to mount their own scoring drive. The final minutes would determine whether New England's remarkable comeback would be completed, or whether Seattle would find a way to retain their championship crown through their own clutch performance. Chapter 13, the final play. Seattle had one final drive to either tie the game with a field goal or win it with a touchdown, carrying the hopes and dreams of their championship defense while facing one of the most pressure-packed situations in Super Bowl history. The drive began with Wilson completing several crucial passes while scrambling for first downs that kept the drive alive and moved Seattle into scoring position. His ability to extend plays with his mobility while finding open receivers demonstrated the quarterback skills that had made the Seahawks dangerous throughout their championship runs. Wilson's performance under pressure throughout the final drive included perfect throws in tight windows while facing pressure from New England's defense, which had made crucial adjustments throughout the fourth quarter. His leadership and composure in the huddle gave his teammates confidence that they could complete the championship-winning drive. The catch immediately entered Super Bowl lore as one of the most improbable and crucial receptions in championship game history. Kearse's ability to track the deflected ball while maintaining his balance and concentration in the most pressure-packed moment of his career demonstrated the focus and athleticism that championship moments required. The reception put Seattle at the New England 5-yard line with excellent field position and plenty of time to score the championship-winning touchdown. The momentum from the miraculous reception seemed to favor the Seahawks as they prepared for what appeared to be inevitable championship success. Patriots defenders and coaches were stunned by the reception but quickly refocused on the task at hand, making defensive adjustments and preparing for Seattle's final plays while maintaining their composure, despite the shocking turn of events. Their ability to recover from devastating setbacks had been demonstrated throughout their championship run and would be tested once more in the most crucial moments. Marshawn Lynch carried the ball to the 1-yard line on first down, setting up what seemed like an inevitable touchdown run by Beast Mode, one of the most powerful and reliable short-yardage runners in NFL history. Lynch's physical style and determination in crucial situations had made him one of the most feared goal line runners in the league, and the situation seemed perfectly suited for his skill set. The Seahawks had 26 seconds and 1 timeout remaining after Lynch's carry, with multiple opportunities to punch the ball into the end zone using various play calls and personnel packages. Their championship experience and proven ability to execute in crucial moments gave them confidence that they could complete their repeat championship run. His combination of power, vision, and determination made him the obvious choice for the championship deciding play. New England's defense prepared for Lynch to carry the ball, stacking the box with extra defenders while preparing to make the goal line stand that could preserve their championship hopes. Their defensive adjustments included personnel changes and communication that prepared them for the physical battle that typically determined goal line situations. But instead of handing the ball to Lynch for what seemed like the logical play call, Seattle offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell called for a quick slant pass over the middle that would target receiver Ricardo Lockett against New England's goal line defense. The decision surprised everyone in the stadium and would become one of the most controversial strategic choices in sports history. The play call was designed to take advantage of anticipated run defense while providing a high percentage completion that would result in a touchdown if executed properly. Seattle's coaching staff believed the pass provided the best opportunity to score while avoiding the physical confrontation that could result in a stuffed running play. Russell Wilson took the snap from the 1-yard line and immediately looked to his left where Lockett was running a slant route across the formation. The timing and execution had to be perfect, as any delay or miscommunication could result in disaster given the compressed field and heavy traffic in the end zone area. Malcolm Butler, the undrafted rookie cornerback who had spent countless hours studying film and preparing for crucial moments, recognized the route combination immediately and broke on the pass with perfect timing and anticipation. His preparation throughout the season had prepared him for exactly this type of situation and opportunity. Butler's interception at the goal line preserved New England's championship while ending Seattle's repeat dreams in the most dramatic fashion imaginable. Wilson's pass was intercepted by the rookie cornerback, who had read the play perfectly and stepped in front of receiver Ricardo Lockett for the game-sealing interception that would be replayed for generations. The interception was immediately hailed as one of the greatest defensive plays in NFL history, while Seattle's play call was criticized as one of the worst decisions ever made in a championship game situation. The contrasting emotions of triumph and devastation captured the essence of professional sports at its highest level, while creating lasting memories for everyone who witnessed the dramatic conclusion. His story became inspiration for players throughout football, while proving that preparation and opportunity could overcome any obstacle. The play call decision would be debated for years to come, as critics questioned the strategic logic of throwing the ball in a situation that seemed perfectly suited for Lynch's physical running style. The choice to pass instead of run became a cautionary tale about second-guessing conventional wisdom in the most crucial moments. Pete Carroll and Darrell Bevell defended their decision by citing the defensive alignment and clock management considerations that influenced their choice, but the criticism and second-guessing would follow them for years to come. The play call became synonymous with poor decision-making under pressure and influenced strategic thinking throughout football. The dramatic conclusion to Super Bowl 49 created lasting memories and established benchmarks for championship drama that would influence future games and strategic decisions. The combination of miraculous catches, crucial interceptions, and controversial play calls created entertainment that exceeded even the highest expectations, while demonstrating the unpredictable nature of championship football. Chapter 14, Championship Aftermath and Legacy. The championship represented validation of their sustained excellence and resilience, while creating lasting memories for players, coaches, and fans who had endured a decade-long drought. Tom Brady was named Super Bowl MVP for the third time in his career, tying Joe Montana's record while setting a new standard with 37 completions in the championship game. His performance under pressure, particularly in the fourth quarter comeback, demonstrated the championship pedigree and clutch gene that separated elite quarterbacks from merely good ones. Brady's statistical excellence throughout the Super Bowl included precise throws in tight windows while facing constant pressure from Seattle's aggressive defense. His ability to find open receivers and complete crucial passes, while his team's championship hopes hung in the balance, proved his continued excellence despite early season criticism about his declining abilities. The quarterback's leadership throughout the comeback, including his communication with teammates and composure in the huddle, exemplified the intangible qualities that made him one of the greatest players in professional sports history. His ability to elevate his performance when his team needed it most had been demonstrated repeatedly throughout his career. Their ability to maintain championship-level performance over more than a decade demonstrated organizational excellence that few franchises could match. The Patriots' championship celebration in Boston drew hundreds of thousands of fans who braved frigid temperatures to honor their heroes and celebrate the end of their decade-long wait for another title. The parade and rally demonstrated the deep connection between the team and their passionate fan base, while creating memories that would last for generations. His ability to identify and utilize talent that other organizations overlooked had been a consistent theme throughout his coaching career. The Seahawks had been positioned to cement their place among the greatest teams in NFL history before one play changed everything. The Legion of Boom defense had played well enough to win throughout the Super Bowl, creating turnovers and pressure while limiting New England's explosive plays for most of the contest. Their physical style and opportunistic coverage had given Seattle the lead late in the fourth quarter and put them in position to complete their championship repeat. His ability to lead the comeback against Green Bay had proven his clutch ability, making the final interception even more devastating for him personally. The final play call would haunt Pete Carroll and the Seahawks organization for years to come, creating second-guessing and criticism that overshadowed much of their excellent preparation and execution throughout the season. The decision to pass instead of run with Marshawn Lynch from the 1-yard line became one of the most debated strategic decisions in sports history. The controversy created lasting tension between the league office and the Patriots, while influencing discussions about their championship legitimacy. The investigation process included extensive interviews, scientific testing, and legal proceedings that dragged on for nearly 2 years while creating divisions among fans, media, and players throughout the league. The Patriots' steadfast denials and legal challenges prolonged the controversy, while generating ongoing headlines and speculation. The punishments eventually imposed were among the harshest in NFL history, reflecting the league's determination to maintain competitive integrity while sending a message about rule compliance and organizational responsibility. The precedents established would influence future investigations and disciplinary procedures for years to come. The pressure to find explanations for sustained excellence often created suspicion and allegations that could overshadow on-field achievements. The combination of athleticism, strategy, and human drama created experiences that resonated with fans for decades. The season demonstrated that underdogs could defeat favorites through superior preparation and execution, while championship games could be decided on individual plays that required years of preparation to execute properly. The unpredictable nature of key moments kept audiences engaged while creating lasting memories for participants and observers. The play demonstrated how individual moments of preparation and opportunity could define entire seasons and create lasting legacies. Butler's recognition of the route combination and his positioning to make the interception resulted from countless hours of film study and practice repetition that prepared him for the crucial moment. His story became inspiration for players throughout all levels of football, while proving that preparation and opportunity could overcome talent deficits. The interception also represented the culmination of New England's championship culture, as their preparation and attention to detail created opportunities for unknown players to make championship-defining plays. The organizational commitment to excellence at every level enabled them to succeed when other teams failed to execute in crucial moments. The play's immediate impact on both teams' futures included personnel decisions, coaching changes, and strategic adjustments that influenced their competitiveness for years to come. The championship victory propelled New England to additional success, while Seattle faced the challenge of overcoming their devastating loss and maintaining their competitive window. The lasting legacy of the 2014 season included rule changes, investigative procedures, and strategic innovations that continued to influence professional football long after the final whistle. The lessons learned about preparation, execution, and decision-making under pressure became part of football folklore while influencing coaching and player development throughout the sport. Chapter 15: Individual Excellence and Records. The 2014 season featured outstanding individual performances across all position groups, as players achieved personal milestones and set new standards for excellence that would be remembered for years to come. The statistical achievements provided context for the competitive balance and talent level throughout the league, while showcasing the individual brilliance that made professional football compelling. His sustained excellence and leadership helped Denver secure the number 2 seed in the AFC, while maintaining one of the league's most potent and sophisticated offensive attacks. Manning's precision and pre-snap diagnosis continued to set him apart from other quarterbacks, as he frequently identified defensive weaknesses and adjusted his protection schemes and route combinations accordingly. His ability to distribute the ball to multiple receivers and create opportunities for his teammates demonstrated the intelligence and leadership that had defined his legendary career. The Broncos' offensive statistics under Manning's leadership were historically impressive, as they averaged over 30 points per game while converting third downs at an elite rate. Manning's quick release and accuracy in short and intermediate routes created opportunities for receivers to gain extra yardage after catches and maintain drives in crucial situations. His clutch performances in crucial games made him the unanimous choice for the league's top individual honor. Rodgers' ability to extend plays with his mobility and create opportunities for receivers to get open made the Packers' offense particularly dangerous and difficult to defend. His arm strength allowed him to make throws that other quarterbacks couldn't attempt, while his accuracy in tight windows gave his receivers confidence to make contested catches. The Packers' quarterback also demonstrated excellent leadership and composure in pressure situations, frequently leading comeback victories and game-winning drives that showcased his championship potential. His performance in primetime games and against elite opponents proved his ability to elevate his play when his team needed it most. DeMarco Murray led the NFL in rushing yards with 1,845, carrying the Dallas Cowboys to the NFC East Championship with his powerful running style and remarkable durability. His production anchored an offense that balanced efficiently between passing and rushing attacks throughout the season, while controlling the tempo of games. Murray's rushing totals included multiple games with over 100 yards and several performances that exceeded 150 yards, demonstrating his ability to take over contests and wear down opposing defenses. His combination of speed, power, and vision made him effective in both short yardage and long-distance situations. The Cowboys' offensive line deserved significant credit for Murray's success, as their excellent run blocking and communication created running lanes and opportunities for big gains. The unit's commitment to establishing the ground game early created opportunities for play-action passes and helped control games when Dallas needed to manage the clock. Murray's pass-catching ability also made him a dangerous weapon in the receiving game, as he caught 57 passes for 416 yards while providing Tony Romo with a reliable checkdown option. His versatility and football intelligence made him one of the most complete running backs in the league. His route-running precision and reliable hands made him Pittsburgh's most dangerous offensive weapon and a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses. Brown's ability to create separation at the line of scrimmage and find openings in coverage made him Ben Roethlisberger's most trusted target in crucial situations. His quickness and agility allowed him to excel in both slot and outside receiver positions, giving the Steelers flexibility in their offensive formations and route combinations. The Pittsburgh receiver also demonstrated excellent hands and concentration, making difficult catches in traffic while maintaining his focus despite physical contact from defenders. His ability to gain yards after catches and turn short completions into explosive plays made him particularly valuable in the Steelers' offensive system. Brown's work ethic and dedication to improving his craft became legendary among teammates and coaches, as he spent countless hours studying film and perfecting his technique. His attention to detail and commitment to excellence set an example for younger players while establishing him as a leader in the receiving room. J.J. Watt continued his dominance as a defensive player, recording 20.5 sacks while also catching 3 touchdown passes as an eligible receiver in goal line situations. His versatility and impact on both sides of the ball made him one of the most unique and valuable players in the modern era of professional football. Watt's pass rushing ability from both interior and exterior positions created matchup problems for opposing offensive coordinators, who struggled to account for his speed, power, and technique with standard blocking schemes. His motor and relentless pursuit made him effective throughout entire games, while his football intelligence allowed him to diagnose plays quickly. The Houston Defenders' offensive contributions came through creative packages that utilized his size and hands to create mismatches in the red zone. His 3 touchdown catches demonstrated his athleticism and versatility while providing the Texans with unique offensive options that other teams couldn't replicate. Watt's leadership and work ethic also made him a valuable teammate and mentor for younger players, as his approach to preparation and conditioning set standards that elevated the entire organization. His impact extended beyond statistics to include the culture and expectations he created through his example. Luke Kuechly led the league in tackles while anchoring Carolina's defense that carried them to an unexpected playoff berth, despite significant offensive limitations. His instincts and athletic ability made him the defensive leader for a team that exceeded expectations through opportunistic play and physical execution. Kuechly's ability to diagnose plays and position himself correctly made him effective against both run and pass, as he consistently found himself around the ball and in position to make tackles. His communication skills and football intelligence allowed him to help his teammates understand assignments and adjust to opposing offensive concepts. The Carolina linebacker's coverage ability in pass situations made him valuable in nickel and dime packages, as he could match up with running backs and tight ends while maintaining his run-stopping effectiveness. His versatility allowed defensive coordinator Sean McDermott to use multiple formations and schemes without creating obvious weaknesses. Calvin Johnson continued his dominance as one of the league's premier receiving threats, using his size, speed, and leaping ability to create opportunities in coverage that other receivers couldn't match. His presence stretched opposing defenses vertically while creating opportunities for Detroit's other receivers to find openings underneath. Rob Gronkowski, when healthy, remained the most complete tight end in the league, providing elite receiving production while also contributing significantly as a blocker in both pass protection and run blocking situations. His combination of size, speed, and hands made him a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses in all areas of the field. Tom Brady's resurgent season included multiple games with over 300 passing yards, while maintaining excellent accuracy and decision-making throughout New England's championship run. His leadership and clutch performance in crucial moments demonstrated why he remained one of the game's elite quarterbacks, despite critics' suggestions of decline. Russell Wilson's continued development as a quarterback included improved accuracy and decision-making, while maintaining the mobility and playmaking ability that made him unique among NFL signal callers. His leadership of Seattle's championship defense proved his ability to perform under pressure in the biggest games. Additional individual achievements throughout the season included several milestone performances that entered the record books and demonstrated the sustained excellence of veteran players alongside emerging stars. Rob Gronkowski, despite missing 4 games due to injury, caught 12 touchdown passes and averaged over 15 yards per reception when healthy, proving his continued dominance as the league's premier tight end. His combination of size, speed, and leaping ability continued to create matchup problems that defensive coordinators struggled to solve. The season featured the highest scoring week in NFL history during Week 10, when teams combined for 763 points across 14 games. The offensive explosion demonstrated the effectiveness of modern passing attacks, while showcasing the athletic ability and preparation of skill position players throughout the league. Weather played a significant role in several memorable games, including a snow-covered contest between the Detroit Lions and Philadelphia Eagles that featured over 600 rushing yards combined. The conditions favored ground-based attacks while creating spectacular visual imagery that reminded fans of football's roots in harsh weather conditions. The individual excellence displayed throughout the season provided compelling storylines and memorable performances that would be remembered long after the final statistics were compiled and awards were distributed. The combination of veteran greatness and emerging talent created a competitive landscape that showcased professional football at its finest level. Chapter 16, Coaching. Excellence and Strategy. The 2014 season showcased innovative coaching and strategic adjustments that influenced the game's evolution and demonstrated how superior preparation and in-game management could overcome talent deficiencies. Coaches across the league implemented new systems and made crucial in-game decisions that determined their team's ultimate success or failure, while establishing trends that would influence future seasons. Bill Belichick's handling of the Patriots' early season struggles demonstrated championship-level coaching at its finest. as he made necessary adjustments to both personnel and strategy while maintaining confidence in his system and players. His ability to adapt the team's identity throughout the season and peak at the right time showed why he was considered one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. Belichick's willingness to make difficult personnel decisions and adjust his schemes based on available talent exemplified his pragmatic approach to team building and game planning. His decision to utilize multiple formations and personnel packages kept opposing defenses off balance while maximizing the strengths of his available players. The Patriots coach also demonstrated excellent clock management and situational awareness throughout the season, making crucial decisions in close games that often determined outcomes. His preparation and attention to detail created advantages that became apparent in crucial moments when other teams made mistakes or failed to execute properly. Belichick's development of players like Malcolm Butler, who would eventually make the game-winning interception in the Super Bowl, showcased his ability to identify and cultivate talent that other organizations might overlook. His coaching staff's ability to prepare players for crucial moments proved invaluable in playoff situations. The Patriots' strategic adjustments during their 7-game winning streak included simplified route concepts that allowed Tom Brady to get the ball out quickly while their offensive line improved its protection schemes. These changes demonstrated Belichick's ability to adapt his system to his personnel while maintaining offensive efficiency. Pete Carroll's aggressive decision-making and motivational skills helped Seattle reach their second consecutive Super Bowl, though the final play call would overshadow much of his excellent work throughout the season. His defensive philosophy and team culture created an environment where players consistently exceeded expectations and performed at championship levels. Carroll's emphasis on competition and his always compete philosophy permeated every aspect of the Seahawks organization, from practice sessions to game situations. His ability to maintain energy and focus throughout long seasons while keeping players motivated and confident proved crucial in their championship runs. His aggressive approach in crucial situations often caught opponents off guard. Carroll's development of the Legion of Boom defense included innovative coverage concepts that utilized his players' unique skills while creating confusion for opposing quarterbacks. His willingness to trust his secondary in one-on-one coverage situations allowed his pass rush to be more aggressive and create pressure. The relationship between Carroll and his players, particularly veterans like Marshawn Lynch and Russell Wilson, demonstrated his ability to manage different personalities while maintaining team chemistry and focus. His leadership style created loyalty and commitment that translated into exceptional effort in crucial games. Chip Kelly's innovative offensive system in Philadelphia created early season excitement and showed the potential for college concepts to succeed at the professional level when properly adapted and executed. His up-tempo approach and sports science methods influenced other teams and demonstrated the importance of staying ahead of strategic trends. Kelly's offensive philosophy emphasized pace and execution, as the Eagles frequently ran plays before opposing defenses could substitute or adjust their personnel packages. This approach created fatigue and confusion for opponents, while allowing Philadelphia to maintain offensive rhythm and momentum throughout games. The sports science and nutritional programs implemented by Kelly represented cutting-edge approaches to player conditioning and recovery that gave the Eagles advantages in practice and games. His attention to sleep patterns, hydration, and dietary requirements created measurable improvements in player performance and injury prevention. Kelly's willingness to challenge conventional wisdom extended to his personnel decisions, as he acquired players who fit his system rather than simply collecting the most talented individuals available. His focus on character and intelligence complemented his strategic innovations while creating a cohesive team culture. The Eagles' offensive success under Kelly included efficient red zone performance and excellent third-down conversion rates that demonstrated the effectiveness of his concepts when properly executed. His ability to create mismatches and exploit defensive weaknesses through formation and tempo changes influenced offensive coordinators throughout the league. Mike McCarthy's guidance of Green Bay to the NFC Championship game showcased his ability to maximize Aaron Rodgers' talents while building a complete team around their franchise quarterback. The Packers' balance and execution made them legitimate contenders, despite their heartbreaking playoff loss to Seattle. McCarthy's offensive system created opportunities for Rodgers to utilize his exceptional arm strength and accuracy, while providing multiple options and route combinations that stressed opposing defenses. His play calling and game management allowed the Packers to control games and maintain offensive efficiency in different situations. The Green Bay coach's development of young receivers like Davante Adams and his continued utilization of veterans like Jordy Nelson demonstrated his ability to create depth and versatility in his offensive weapons. His system allowed different types of receivers to succeed while maintaining consistent production. McCarthy's defensive improvements under coordinator Dom Capers included better communication and coverage concepts that made the Packers more effective against both run and pass. Their ability to create turnovers and pressure in crucial situations proved valuable throughout their playoff run. Their strategic advantages often created opportunities that individual talent alone couldn't provide. Their young core showed significant improvement under his leadership and established a foundation for sustained success. Pagano's emphasis on effort and preparation created a team identity that allowed the Colts to compete with more talented opponents through superior execution and game planning. His ability to motivate players and maintain confidence during difficult stretches proved crucial in their playoff run. The Indianapolis coach's development of Andrew Luck included protecting the young quarterback while gradually expanding his responsibilities and decision-making authority. His patience and teaching ability allowed Luck to grow into a leadership role while avoiding the mistakes that often derailed young quarterbacks. Pagano's defensive improvements included better tackling and coverage concepts that made the Colts more competitive against elite offenses. Their ability to create turnovers and force field goals instead of touchdowns proved valuable in close games throughout the season. The culture and accountability that Pagano established in Indianapolis created buy-in from veterans and young players alike, as evidenced by their continued improvement and their ability to perform in pressure situations. His leadership during his personal health challenges also demonstrated his character and strengthened team unity. John Harbaugh's guidance of Baltimore through another playoff run demonstrated his ability to prepare teams for postseason success while managing the expectations and pressure that accompanied their championship pedigree. His experience and steady leadership created confidence among players in crucial situations. Andy Reid's transformation of Kansas City into a playoff contender included strategic improvements on both sides of the ball, while developing young talent and maximizing veteran contributions. His offensive creativity and game management skills helped the Chiefs exceed expectations throughout the regular season. The coaching excellence displayed throughout the season proved that preparation, adaptability, and leadership remained crucial factors in determining team success, regardless of talent levels or organizational resources. The strategic innovations and game management decisions made by elite coaches often provided the margins that separated champions from also-rans. Chapter 17, The Season's Lasting Impact. The combination of individual excellence, team achievements, and dramatic finishes provided entertainment that showcased professional football at its finest, while creating moments that would be analyzed and debated for decades. The New England Patriots championship run proved that sustained excellence was possible in the salary cap era, while also demonstrating the importance of veteran leadership and championship experience in overcoming early season adversity. Their ability to transform from early disappointment to championship glory became a template for other franchises seeking to maximize their competitive windows and create lasting success. The Patriots' remarkable turnaround from their 2-2 start included systematic improvements in all phases of the game, from offensive line protection to defensive coverage concepts. Their willingness to make difficult personnel decisions and scheme adjustments while maintaining confidence in their core players demonstrated the organizational flexibility necessary for championship success. Tom Brady's resurgent performance after early season criticism proved that elite quarterbacks could extend their primes through preparation, system mastery, and mental toughness. His ability to elevate his play in crucial moments while leading younger teammates created a leadership model that influenced quarterback development throughout the league. Bill Belichick's coaching throughout the season, from early adjustments through championship game management, reinforced his reputation as one of the greatest strategic minds in professional sports. His ability to adapt systems to available talent while maintaining competitive advantages became studied by coaching staffs throughout professional and college football. The Legion of Boom's dominance established new standards for defensive excellence while demonstrating the value of physical, opportunistic secondary play. The Seahawks' defensive philosophy, emphasizing size, speed, and physicality in the secondary, influenced personnel decisions and scheme development throughout the NFL. Their success in pressing receivers and creating turnovers through aggressive coverage concepts became a template that other organizations attempted to replicate with varying degrees of success. Pete Carroll's final play call became a cautionary tale about championship decision-making, creating debates about risk management and situational awareness that would be studied in coaching clinics and front office meetings. The decision to pass instead of run highlighted how individual moments could overshadow entire seasons of excellent preparation and execution. The season's competitive balance and parity demonstrated the NFL's organizational strength and the effectiveness of salary cap and revenue-sharing systems in creating opportunities for well-managed franchises to compete at the highest level. Multiple teams entered the playoffs with legitimate championship aspirations, proving that talent evaluation and development could overcome resource disadvantages. The success of different approaches provided lessons about roster construction and salary cap management that influenced future personnel decisions. Malcolm Butler's game-winning interception became an instant classic moment that would be replayed for generations, representing the unpredictable nature of championship football and the importance of preparation and opportunity. His transformation from undrafted rookie to Super Bowl hero created inspiration for players throughout the league while demonstrating the value of perseverance and readiness. Butler's preparation and film study, which allowed him to recognize the route combination and make the championship-winning play, became a model for player development and the importance of mental preparation beyond physical talent. His story influenced coaching methods and practice priorities throughout professional and amateur football. The Deflategate controversy that emerged after the AFC Championship game created a lasting stain on the Patriots' championship while highlighting tensions between competitive integrity and organizational success. The investigation and subsequent punishments would drag on for nearly 2 years, creating precedents for league discipline and investigative procedures. The controversy also demonstrated the intense scrutiny that accompanied championship success, as every aspect of the Patriots' preparation and game management became subject to investigation and debate. The allegations and denials created divisive opinions among fans and media that would influence discussions about the Patriots' legacy for years to come. The season's television ratings and fan engagement proved once again that professional football remained America's most popular sport, capable of creating dramatic moments and compelling storylines that captured the nation's attention. From the opening kickoff through the final interception, the season delivered entertainment that exceeded even the highest expectations while generating unprecedented revenue and viewership. The Super Bowl broadcast set records for most watched television program in American history. demonstrating the sport's continued growth and cultural significance. The halftime show and commercial presentations became cultural events that extended the game's influence beyond traditional sports audiences, while creating economic impact throughout the entertainment industry. International expansion efforts, including games in London, continued the league's global growth while introducing American football to new audiences and markets. These initiatives created opportunities for future expansion, while demonstrating the sport's potential for worldwide popularity and commercial success. As players, coaches, and fans reflected on the completed season, they could appreciate both the individual achievements and team successes that defined those memorable months. The championship celebration in Boston and the disappointment in Seattle represented the emotional extremes that made professional football so compelling and unpredictable, while creating lasting memories for participants and observers. The season also highlighted the physical and mental demands of professional football, as injuries and wear accumulated throughout the long campaign, while players pushed their bodies and minds to the limits in pursuit of championship glory. The dedication and sacrifice required at the highest level created appreciation for the athletic and mental excellence that defined elite competition. Player safety initiatives and rule changes that emerged from the season's events continued the league's evolution toward reducing long-term health risks, while maintaining the physicality and competitiveness that defined the sport. The balance between safety and entertainment remained an ongoing challenge that influenced rulemaking and enforcement procedures. The legacy of the 2014 season would endure through highlight reels, record books, and the memories of those who witnessed one of the most dramatic and entertaining campaigns in NFL history. Malcolm Butler's interception would forever serve as a reminder that in professional football, every play matters, and championships can be won or lost in a single instant of preparation, execution, and opportunity. The season established benchmarks for individual and team excellence, while creating storylines that would influence future seasons and championship pursuits. The dramatic conclusion and controversial elements of the season ensured its place in football history as one of the most memorable and influential campaigns ever played. The combination of outstanding individual performances, strategic innovation, and championship drama created a standard for entertainment and competition that would be difficult to match in future seasons.